What's up? How y'all doing now? I wanted to give a shout out to Officer Eugene Goodman, who escorted Kamala Harris to inauguration yesterday. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the police, because I never said that the cops didn't have a tough job. I never said that they didn't have to hold things together. But I do focus on a lot of the negative officers who openly have killed black folks and get away with it, etc. And then also what you saw the cops who traveled clear across the country and whatnot to participate in that thuggery riot 2 weeks ago. And then you saw how a lot of these white folks was killing these cops, beating these cops up and assaulting them, or taking pictures and selfies. And I'm thinking, if they were black, that wasn't happening, And you see the difference between how the Black Lives Matter protests and in this situation. So I was like, okay. But then there's always an exception to the rule. And there are exceptions to the rules. Because not all cops are bad, but there are a lot of bad apples in there. A lot. And when it comes to racism and stuff, every one of them need to be trained properly when it comes to black folks, how that goes. But I want to concentrate on the black officer, Eugene Goodman, who stood his ground against what was happening. He was protecting that building, he was protecting his job, and he was protecting the citizens. And as these thugs, these white goons come in there trying to ramshack and take everything over, he was standing his ground. Some of his fellow officers who willingly participated to take selfies with these goons and also allowed them to do what they wanted to do. But this guy stood principle. And you see, you need to see that in the community. You need to see somebody with some decency, some respectability, and who can uphold the law, but holding themselves up. That's what you sign up to do. Now, if you see more police officers doing stuff like this, you can respect them. But you see them taking on that Trump racist rhetoric with the Proud Boys and all that racist rhetoric and KKK mindset and all this other stuff. And then you see them killing black folks and you see them doing this or see them being subjective. You're like, well, where are the good ones at? Because we don't see many of them. Or we ever see them as trying to say, well, Black Lives Matter did this, so we're going to retaliate, or we don't like this, so we're going to do this. It's not about upholding the law where you feel safe and and that you understand that they work for you. You don't work for them. Let me emphasize that. We pay their salaries. We ask them to do their job, which they agree to and law abide. And we are American citizens, not the other way around. So it's a job. Blue Lives, you signed to do a job. It's not your bloodline. There's a difference. But this officer showed dignity, held his job, and did the thing. And I can respect what he was about because he was doing his job against that racist white mobsters that was trying to act like they recreate the Civil War. See, that says something about a person as a black man who had somebody who was a charge who initiated a riot, and he had to overcome what Trump had allowed to infiltrate. Think about that. But he used his common sense. So please, I'm gonna give him his dap on this one for real. Anyway, give me your thoughts and takes. I welcome thoughts and takes. Please subscribe. I do answer back feedback. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for one another. And we need to see more officers like Eugene Goodman being forthright and forefront. Because that alone, that wall needs to come down. And we need to see people doing their job and not looking like they looking the other way with selective vision. I'm out.